In this video, Dr. Jordan Peterson explains how your left and right hemispheres influence your life.
So, okay, now the left hemisphere. This is L. Conan Goldberg's hypothesis. So you got one hemisphere or system that operates when you know what you're doing and when what you want is happening. And that's the happy, talky part that, thinks it knows what the hell is going on. And then you have another part that only turns on when you don't know what's going on, and it's full of anxiety and negative emotion. The right hemisphere, by the way, is specialized for negative emotion. If you sustain right prefrontal damage, you become inappropriately happy. And you think, well, you're full of positive illusions. You think, oh, well, that's an excellent thing. It's like it's not. You make really impulsive, risky decisions, and your life goes directly to hell. Because you need the negative emotion, obviously. The reason you suffer with negative emotion is because if you didn't suffer with negative emotion, you'd suffer from being destroyed. Those are your options. There are people, by the way, who are born without pain. And so you think, hey, that's a good deal. It's like they never last past 20. And part of the reason for that is you don't notice this, but while you're sitting there, you're going like this all the time. And the reason for that is that if you sit for any length of time on one part of your body, then it doesn't get much blood and it doesn't get oxygenated. And so you do that, it bitches a little bit, a little pain. So you shift, and you shift. And so you're just doing this all the time. Because otherwise you wear out your damn body or you get bed sores or that sort of thing. Well, these people that don't have any pain, they just wear themselves out. So you need the negative emotion, it keeps you going. And it can get out of hand and have its own pathologies, but it's definitely necessary. So the right hemisphere does negative emotion, inhibition of behavior. That's the freezing that's attendant on anxiety. Does image processing, holistic thinking. So it's the quick and dirty hemisphere. Pattern recognition, pattern generation, and gross motor action. And that's interesting too, right? Because the gross motor action is, again, the quick and dirty stuff. If you need to slap something away, it doesn't really matter that it's a gross motor gesture. You don't have to go like this and be precise. It can just be fast and sloppy, and it'll still work. Now, the left hemisphere is specialized for when you know what the hell's going on, and you can concentrate on the details. So, and then you can think about it in terms of the hierarchy that we discussed, right? So what it implies is that at the level of specific, fine, detailed motor output, the left hemisphere is operating. And so that's kind of associated with positive affect. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm making minor adjustments, and everything's going well. And then if you go up the hierarchy towards more and more abstracted representations, then increasingly that's moving over into right hemisphere space. And so that's also partly why when you disrupt those higher order structures that, well, literally all hell breaks loose. So left hemisphere, operation in explored territory, positive emotion, activation of behavior, so that's also exploration. Word processing, linear thinking, detail recognition, detail generation, and fine motor action. So you need one system that works when you don't know what's going on, and you need another system that works when you do. Because sometimes you're where you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes you're where you do know what you're doing. Now, Ramachandran, who's a fairly famous neurologist who operates out of LA, he associated the totalitarian ego with hyperdomination of the left hemisphere. And the reason he did that is very cool. So he's got these patients that have, what's it called? Is it agnosia? It isn't. We'll call it neglect. Neglect. Okay, so this is what happens, okay? You have a stroke, and the stroke affects the back part of the right hemisphere. All right? And so what happens? Your left side is paralyzed. You can't do anything with it. Okay, so, however, you also don't notice that it's not working. And so one of the things you might do if you do become aware, you're laying in bed, you've had a stroke, and for some reason you notice that there's an arm lying in there with you, and then what you do is you pick it up with your other hand and you try to throw it out of the bed, and when you find out that it's attached to you, because it's not your arm, you're not very happy, or maybe you throw yourself right out of bed. And then if someone gets you to draw a clock, you draw half a clock, and if you eat a plate full of food, you eat half the plate, unless someone turns it, and then you eat half of that. And so half the world is gone. It's hard to imagine what that would be like, eh? But I think what it's sort of like is, you know how there's a whole world behind you, and you don't detect it as not there. Like it's not black or anything, like when your eyes are closed. It's just not there. And I think what happens with people with neglect is that the not there becomes 3/4 instead of just half. It's something like that anyways. So fine, so you don't know what's going on, and there you are like this, and someone says to you, I noticed that you can't move your left arm today. And what do you say? You say, well, that's because I'm tired. Or you say, I don't feel like moving it. And so forth. So you have this reason that you're not going to move it. And you might say the same thing about the left foot or whatever. It's like, yeah, well, I don't feel like moving it. And you'll have some story about why you're not going to move it. Okay, so that's fine. So the Freudians thought about that as traumatic denial. That it was so overwhelming to you that you lost the left part of your body, that you couldn't face it and you just denied it happened. It's not a bad theory. It's not quite right, but it's not a bad theory. So fine. So I'll tell you a couple of associated stories. Let's say you're on dialysis. That sucks. You have to have this big thing in your arm that's like a shunt, and then you have to go get hooked up to a dialysis machine like all the time, because your kidneys are failing. And so who wants that? Nobody. So everybody thinks, time for a kidney transplant. So then they're on a long waiting list. And they get one kidney. That's not very many kidneys. And so then they say, okay, you got your kidney, and everyone's thrilled about that. Here's your anti-rejection medication. Make sure you take it. And so then a year later you lose your kidney. Why? Because you don't take your damn anti-rejection medication. That's the most common reason. You might think, well, why in the world would you not take your anti-rejection medication? Well, the Freudians would say denial. Here's a different hypothesis. Your whole map of you is person with kidney. And then you lose your kidneys, and it's like you're a whole weird thing that you have no idea about, and it's virtually impossible for you to update your model. And you think, well, does that make any sense? Like, have you ever lost a tooth? Right. What does your tongue do for like 6 months? You're sitting there and your tongue is like fiddling away in there like a mad dog, investigating every teensy nook and cranny, like it's an obsessive exploratory device. And it does it even when you don't want it to. And then 6 months later, you get your mouth remapped. It's like, that's just a tooth, man. Lose a kidney and see what happens. Or lose the whole left side of your body. It's like, what are you going to do about that?